We need to make sure that we use technology and we offer the technology for online interaction to refugees who need to stay connected. Maybe they're separated from their families, their communities. They want to know what's going on in the world. They have a right to be in the internet world, in the online world, as much as we are.
The refugees in Europe can have more opportunities through ICT because through ICT they can access knowledge of their status, of their rights, of their opportunities, also of their duties as asylum seekers and refugees, and to have means of communication with locals for matching opportunities for meetings. There are specific apps and portals that are being developed for this specific objective of meeting locals and refugees to develop skill certification. So there is a whole array of opportunities that can be developed with ICT.
We need to understand the landscape that is changing, and we need to understand also the fact that these refugees, 85% of them are, hosted in developing countries, and 58% of them are in urban areas. So the needs are different, and we need to also to make sure that whatever we're providing to the refugees does not cause a digital divide with the host communities. So I would say it's a multilateral approach to the situation, and ICT is definitely the enabler.
Coming from a satellite communications provider, what we see is satellite communications being an absolutely key enabler to allow ICT and all the good and value that brings. So working in partnership with ESOA, the United Nations, other organisations, and indeed within our own industry, the ability to provide that key connectivity as an enabler to ICT in disaster preparedness, disaster response and recovery, particularly in aid of those refugees that are there for the longer term, and working with mobile network operators to provide seamless and connectivity globally.
Mobile technology can benefit refugees' lives in a whole multitude of ways. But sadly, the reality is that displaced populations are often disproportionately affected by accessibility and also affordability constraints, which often leaves them digitally excluded. So firstly, we need to build a stronger evidence base to really understand the needs and preferences of refugees, to help inform humanitarian organisations, but also the private sector of the types of digital interventions that can really support them in the very unique circumstances that they find themselves in. Secondly, we need to encourage shared value partnerships between the humanitarian sector and also the mobile industry. And we can do this through catalytic funding to drive innovation across nascent opportunity areas and test new business models that can really reach kind of impactful and sustainable models. And finally, governments have a really key role to play in creating enabling environments so that refugees can have sustainable and reliable access to mobile-enabled services over the long term.
When the people are here in Europe, it's important to train them in digital skills. And for me, digital production is a very important thing. Why? Because if you become a producer and you use the computer as a tool, you can use it as lifelong learning and you don't use it anymore as a consumer. That's one thing. And then, for example, we produce digital stories with migrants, with refugees. And they make digital stories of their lives, why they fled. And at the same time, we do a kind of trauma healing, but we enhance a lot of other skills, linguistic skills, collaboration, digital mindset, creativity. All those things were important to integrate in a European society. And when they produce digital stories, we have a story to share, and this story can create empathy by European citizens, so they will see and know about the life of refugees.